And welcome into Smith's Ballpark. You're looking live as the University of Utah Utes look to complete a three-game sweep over the visiting Stanford Cardinal. Stanford comes in with a 10-13 record, 3-5 in Pac-12 play. They've dropped the first two games of this series against a Utah team that is 18-7, 7-4 in the Pac-12. It's been a really good start to the season for the Utes, 11 games over 500. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday's 7-5 win for Utah over the Stanford team. The Utes picked up, as I said, I hadn't said this. This was with the win yesterday. Utah gets their third series victory over Stanford in the Pac-12 era. The Utes came out, started that game building a 5-0 lead before surviving a late Stanford comeback for the 7-5 win. Go ahead and take you through the scoring in that game. Core Jackson, the Utes shortstop, scored the game's first run on a wild pitch in the first inning. And 2 innings later, Kai Roberts, his senior center fielder, grounded out to second base, scoring Jackson from third base to give the Utes an early 2-0 lead. In the fourth, it was catcher Hunter Antillion's first home run of the season, a solo shot, increasing the lead to 3, and then 1 inning later, Antillion came through once again, singling home Caden Carpenter and Drake DiGiorno to give the Utes a 5-0 lead. Moving forward to the 6th inning, both programs traded punches, with Stanford plating 3 runs on 4 hits. The Utes responded in the bottom half of the 6th, benefiting from 3 walks and an RBI pinch hit single from Michael Davini. Utah took a 7-3 lead into the 9th inning with Ernesto Lugo Canchola on the mound. Lugo Canchola got the first 2 outs, but then gave up 2 hits sandwiched around a Core Jackson throwing error that would have ended the game. Ended up giving up a couple of runs, leading to Pac-12 saves leader Micah Ashman getting the call from Utah head coach Gary Henderson for the second day in a row. Ashman came in with 2 down and 2 on, striking out Charlie Somm in 5 pitches to clinch the series win. It was the first series win for the Utes over Stanford since 2016. That was here at Smith's Ballpark. The only other Utah series win against the Cardinal came at Sunken Diamond back in 2013. So the Utes haven't experienced a lot of success against Stanford, and good to see them putting things together during this home series, trying to put together a 3-game sweep. It would be the first 3-game sweep in recorded Utah program history, as the meeting with the managers at the plate is just about over. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with the lineup for the Stanford Cardinal, the defensive alignment for your Utah Utes. First pitch right after this. And as the Utah fight song pumps through the Smith's Ballpark speakers, here in Game 3 of a 3-game series, the Utes come flying out of the dugout defensively, getting ready to back up senior pitcher Brett Porthen. The right-hander Porthen spent the last 3 seasons in St. George, throwing for the Utah Tech Trailblazers, making 49 appearances, 36 starts. Porthen ended his 3-year career with the Trailblazers with an NCAA-era program record, allowing just 2.62 walks per 9 innings in his career. He finished with a 15-9 record down in St. George in 202.2 innings, striking out 142 batters. This year, Brett Porthen has a 1-0 record coming into this game, a 6.43 earned run average. He's started 6 games. This will be his 7th start of the season. In 28 innings, Porthen has given up 38 hits, 20 runs. All 20 have been earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 18. And Porthen will be facing a Stanford lineup that has struggled offensively this season, and they've come up with some clutch hitting against the Utes, especially late yesterday, but overall it hasn't been a great series. Leading off for the Cardinal, number 1 playing second base, Owen Cobb, followed by center fielder Court McDonald. Batting third, left-handed hitting catcher Malcolm Moore. In the cleanup spot, it's first baseman Jimmy Nadai. In the 5-hole, Luke Lavin playing left field. Jake Sapien, the designated hitter, batting 6th. As Porthen delivers strike 1, here we go in Smith's Ballpark. Game 3, Utes looking for the sweep over Stanford. In the 7-hole for the Cardinal, third baseman Timo Becerra. As ball one misses outside. In the 8th spot, shortstop Trevor Haskins, and rounding out the Stanford lineup, right fielder Brady Reynolds. Now behind 0-2 against Brett Porthen. Porthen, a Utah native, grew up in Tooele, Utah, went to Tooele High School before joining Utah Tech. Owen Cobb in the series is 2 for 7 with a double and a strikeout. Make that 2 strikeouts as Brett Porthen. It's a swinging strikeout for the first out of the top of the first inning. One down, that brings Court McDonald to the plate. Take a look at the Utes' defensive alignment in left field, making his first start of the series. Dakota Duffalo, Kai Roberts in center, TJ Clarkson in right. Michael Davini gets the start at third base. Core Jackson at short, Brewer Webster at second, and Cam Gurney makes his first start of the series over at first base. Hunter Antillian, his third consecutive start against the Cardinal behind the plate, and as we've talked about, Brett Porthen on the mound. Pitch is outside, runs the count to 1-1. That ball's crushed. Deep to right. That's a no-doubt home run onto the walkway. TJ Clarkson took a couple of steps and just waved goodbye. Stanford leads 1-0. So Brett Porthen gives up the home run. That's the 5th home run of the season surrendered by Porthen, now facing Malcolm Moore. Early 1-0 lead for the Cardinal, before most fans have had a chance to find their seats here at Smith's Ballpark. Smith's Ballpark, home of the Utah Utes for the last 30 seasons, as well as the AAA Salt Lake Bees. Porthen misses up above the zone. 1-1 is the count. Still one down here in the top of the first. Malcolm Moore batting .200 this year. Fouls that pitch back. He's 1 for 6 in the series with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. That home run by Court McDonald, the first home run of the series for Stanford. Just their third extra base hit. They've had a couple of doubles. And that's going to get over the head of second baseman Brewer Webster. So 2 of the first 3 batters reach against Brett Porthen. Stanford tries to prevent the Utes from finishing this series sweep. Here comes Jimmy Nadai, batting .310 this year. Right-handed senior Porthen with the pitch outside. 1-0 against Jimmy Nadai. Nadai comes into this game 2 for 9 in the series. He's got 9 doubles this season to go with 11 RBI. It's a deep fly to right. Clarkson going back on it, makes the catch on the warning track. Loud out from Jimmy Nadai brings Luke Lavin to the plate. Lavin came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, stayed in defensively in left field. He went 1 for 2 and scored a run. hitting 179 into the box. First pitch, high fly to left. Dakota Duffalo is out there, makes the catch a couple of steps in front of the warning track to retire the side. So Stanford gets a run with a solo home run from Court McDonald. They lead 1-0 after 3 outs. So we'll keep it right here. Stanford comes out of the dugout defensively. Utah will be facing pitcher Christian Lim, number 42. Christian Lim, a freshman from Nashville, Tennessee. Left-handed pitcher listed at 5'10". Lim's numbers for the season: he's got a 2-2 record, a 3.03 ERA. This will be his 7th start of the year. In 29 2/3 innings, he's given up 22 hits, 10 runs. All 10 have been earned. He's walked 9 and struck out 41. Lim, the first week of March, was named the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week. He's had a good season so far. His last start against Creighton, he went 6 1/3 innings, striking out 11. Surrendering 3 hits in the shutout performance while walking just 2. Christian Lim will be facing a left-handed heavy Utah lineup led by Core Jackson, the Utah shortstop up at the top. Jackson 4 for 7 in the series with 2 walks and 3 runs scored. Batting second, center fielder, left-handed hitting Kai Roberts, 2 for 8 in the series, hitting .357 this season, making his first start against Stanford. It'll be third baseman Michael Davini, batting cleanup right fielder TJ Clarkson in the 5-hole, catcher number 15 Hunter Antillian. Antillian yesterday went 2 for 3 with 3 RBI, had a home run. It was his first home run of the season. Carson Bodley, the designated hitter, batting 6th in the 7-hole, first baseman Cam Gurney. Gurney making his first start since, or not his first start, appearing in his first game since March 16th against Oregon State here at Smith's Ballpark. In the 8th spot, it's left fielder Dakota Duffalo, and in the 9-hole, second baseman Brewer Webster. As Christian Lim finishes his warm-up tosses, just about ready to get the bottom of the first inning started here. Core Jackson finishes his warm-up swings and strides to the left-handed batter's box. Jackson batting .343 this season. Jackson out of South Mountain Community College. First pitch from Lim, strike 1. Core Jackson out of Wyoming, Ontario. Rated the number 35 shortstop in college baseball by D1Baseball.com earlier this week. Lim misses the zone 1-1. Coming into the year, Jackson was rated as the number 31 prospect in the Pac-12. Junior shortstop looks at ball 2, makes the count 2-1. Utah never trailed in the game yesterday. They trailed for just a couple of innings in the first game as Jackson grounds out to the pitcher. Stanford already with a leg up compared to where they've been the first 2 games of this series. Kai Roberts coming to the plate. Roberts is 2 for 8 against Stanford. Hard hit first pitch. Cobb with a good backhand at second. Spins and throws out Roberts. 2 down. There comes Michael Davini. Davini manning the hot corner, hitting .269 this season. Davini looks at ball one. Michael Davini previously played at Saddleback College. Bouncer to short, Haskins. Strong throw, pulls the first baseman Nati off the bag, but he applies the tag. The Utes go down 1-2-3 in the first. Stanford leads 1-0 after one. Leading off the top of the second inning, Jake Sapien, Stanford designated hitter. Sapien doubled yesterday. It's his first extra base hit of the season. Facing Brett Porthen, fouls the first pitch into the stands. The Saturday before Easter Sunday here at Smith's Ballpark. A little overcast, but the weather we were expecting as that ball's lined into right field, that could be extra bases. Rolls into the Stanford bullpen. Throw from Clarkson to second. Sapien beats the tag. A leadoff double here in the second inning. So I've been saying we're expecting some rain to be coming through. Looks like that's holding off for now. It's overcast, it's a little bit chilly, but doing our best to try and get this game in. Here's Timo Becerra, 4 for 8 in the series, hitting .309 this season. Grounds to Jackson at short. Jackson's throw pulls Gurney off the bag. So Becerra reaches, runners at the corners for the Cardinal. See if that gets ruled an error on Core Jackson. That was a tough play. Jackson had to go several feet to his left just to get to that ball. Get up quickly out of that slide and make the throw. That is ruled a throwing error. The second straight day with a throwing error for Core Jackson. Stanford with a chance to add some insurance here in the early innings. Fly ball to right field. Clarkson coming in on it, makes a diving catch. TJ Clarkson gets up, throws home. Sapien tags up, he'll score. But an incredible play by TJ Clarkson to make the catch. Utes throw to third to check, making sure Sapien tagged up. He did. The Cardinal lead 2-0. So Becerra stays at first. Go down as a line out to right field. Excellent defensive effort by TJ Clarkson. That ball was dropping fast. I wasn't sure if he was going to have a chance to get to it. Brady Reynolds looks at strike one. So the leadoff double pays dividends. Stanford increases their lead. Counts 1-1 now on Brady Reynolds. Stanford 9-hole hitter. Owen Cobb due up next. Porthen taking his time. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of the park. Reynolds is 0 for 6 in the series with 3 strikeouts. Counts 1-2 on the freshman right fielder. Check it first. Becerra back in safely. This is the first 2-run lead of the series for Stanford. Their previous lead in Game 1 on Thursday. It's just 1 run. And Reynolds gets hit by the pitch, so an inauspicious start here by senior Brett Porthen on the mound. 2 on, 1 down in the second inning with the top of the Stanford lineup, Owen Cobb. Control has been an issue for Utah pitchers a little bit this weekend. A handful of wild pitches. They haven't really been impacted by it too much, besides running up pitch counts. So here's Owen Cobb. Cobb, a grad student out of Seattle, Washington. Takes ball 1 high and tight. Timo Becerra at second. Brady Reynolds at first. Porthen gets the sign. Foul tip. Counts 1-1. 2 up for the Utes. 4, 5, 6. TJ Clarkson, Hunter Antillian, Carson Bodley. Cobb shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes ball 2. Now Gary Henderson making his way out of the dugout. Brett Porthen has already given up a run here in the inning. 2 runs in the game. He's got 2 on and 1 down, with a 2-1 count against the Cardinal leadoff hitter Owen Cobb. Gary Henderson in his 3rd season leading the Utes, 3rd season as a college head coach. He's 64, 66, and 2 at Utah. 383, 323, and 2 in his 13 seasons. Rest of the Utah coaching staff, Todd Williams is an assistant coach in his 3rd season at Utah. Mike Brown, also an assistant coach. Brown works as the 3rd base coach and helps out with the outfielders and a little bit of base running coaching. Troy Squires just hired this season after volunteering with the program. He's the 1st base coach as well as helping out with the Utes catchers. The meeting on the mound is over. Henderson makes his way back to the 3rd base dugout. Owen Cobb, right-handed hitter, back at the plate. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Becerra takes off. Good throw by Antillian, and he's out. Hunter Antillian the Hunter. Throws out Timo Becerra at 3rd, trying to steal, now 2 down. Antillian's trying to help his pitcher out as he works through some 2nd inning struggles. 3-1 count on Owen Cobb. Fourth and set. Here's the pitch. Popped high in the air. Not sure if that's going to be playable. Antillian going back. He makes the catch. Somehow Hunter Antillian looked like he jumped up on the wall. Put 1 foot on the wall. Makes the basket catch to retire the side. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hunter Antillian Show. Utes trail 2-0. Leading off, bottom 2, TJ Clarkson, Utah right fielder. Clarkson looks at ball 1 from Christian Lim. And the freshman left-hander, number 42. Jackie Robinson number. Of course, 42 retired across all of professional baseball, but still available in the amateur ranks. TJ Clarkson ahead 2-0. Clarkson pops that ball out of play. Counts 2-1 on the redshirt senior of Gilbert, Arizona. Another foul ball makes the count 2-2. Looked like a couple of kids running, trying to do some souvenir seeking on that ball in the upper deck. It bounced down into the lower deck right past them. Decent crowd braving the cold here in Salt Lake. Clarkson gets hit by the pitch. TJ Clarkson hit by a 2-2. So the leadoff hitter is aboard. First base runner for the Utes today. Brings Hunter Antillian to the plate. The top of the second inning was all Hunter Antillian. Brett Porthen was struggling. Runners on first and second. He had already given up a run. Antillian gunned down Timo Becerra at third. And then made a spectacular basket catch on top of the wall behind home plate to retire Owen Cobb and finish the inning. Say Brett Porthen probably owes Antillian a Coke after that. Counts 0-1. Checks the runner at first, back in safely. Antillian 3 for 7 in the series with a home run and those 3 RBI yesterday. Antillian waves over the top of the 0-1. Now behind 0-2. The grad student transferred to the U. This is his first season at Utah after playing at New Mexico State. Was an Aggie in the Western Athletic Conference. Here's the 0-2. Another check at first instead. Good play by Nati as that throw was a little bit wide of the bag. Ball one, a little bit high. Antillian making his 13th start. This is his 15th appearance of the year. Fly ball out to center. Court McDonald has to go a long way but makes the grab. Antillian is retired. That brings up Carson Bodley, Utes designated hitter. TJ Clarkson at first after getting hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. Bodley, one of 6 left-handed hitters in the Utah lineup today. They had 5 lefties the last 2 days. It's Kerry Henderson stacks the left-handed side against the left-handed hitting Kim. Clarkson back in safely ahead of the pickoff throw. Carson Bodley, a former Salt Lake Community College Bruin out of Woods Cross, Utah, went to Woods Cross High School. If I remember right, it's the Woods Cross Wildcats. Bodley looks at strike one, counts 1-1 on the senior outfielder. Bodley, one of two former Bruins in the Utah lineup today, also Brewer Webster. Clarkson back in at first. Utes will be back here against Utah Valley on Monday night, 6 o'clock, first pitch. Another check at first. Clarkson with 3 stolen bases this year. Doesn't have bad speed. Foul ball, counts 1-2. Lim comes set, checks the runner. The pitch. Strike 3 looking, Bodley's retired. Perfect pitch from Christian Lim, right over the inside edge. Now Cam Gurney gets his first at-bat of the weekend. Gurney hasn't appeared in a game since March 16th against Oregon State. Been a struggle for the sophomore, hitting .045 this season. Strike 1 from Lim. Gurney getting the start at first after Drake DiGiorno started the first 2 games over there. There's the 0-1. Make it 0-2. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Stanford leading 2-0. Scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. TJ Clarkson on first after getting hit by a pitch to lead off this inning. Lim comes set. Here's the pitch. Gurney just gets a piece to stay alive. Cameron Gurney 1 for 22 this season. Has drawn a couple of walks. Has struck out 4 times. Bouncer in front of the plate. That's going to stay fair. Nadai picks it up, tags Gurney. Retires the side. Stanford leads 2-0 after 2 innings. Brett Porthen still on the mound for the Utes, facing leadoff hitter Court McDonald. McDonald in the 2-hole for Stanford today. He's batting .338 this year. Hit a no-doubt home run back in the first inning to give the Cardinal a 1-0 lead. That home run, right fielder TJ Clarkson gave it a couple of steps, but more of just a courtesy. McDonald flies out to Dakota Duffalo in left this time. 1 down in the 3rd. Brings Malcolm Moore to the plate. Moore leads the Stanford team with 6 home runs and 15 RBI. Day-to-day production hasn't always been there as Moore comes in with a .200 batting average. But the power is in the bat. Takes strike 1. Looked like an off-speed offering from Porthen. Makes the count 1-1. Malcolm Moore, a 6'2" sophomore out of Sacramento, California. Now it's 2-1 on Moore. Moore is 1 for 6 in the series. Has a double and an RBI. Hits that ball hard and deep to center. Going back on it is Roberts. Roberts checks the wall, leaps up, and that's gone. So another home run for the Cardinal to straightaway center field. Malcolm Moore with his 7th long ball of the year, and the Cardinal lead 3-0. Nothing and 1 is the count now on Jimmy Nadai. Nadai batting .310 this year. Bouncer to third, past Davini. Nadai takes a big turn at first before retreating. So back-to-back hits. 1 down here in the third. Cardinal lead 3-0. Pick off back in safely is Nadai. A 1 count on Luke Lavin, batting .179. Fouls that pitch out of play. Lavin 0 for 1 this afternoon. Flew out to left in the first inning. Lavin will be followed by Jake Sapien, Cardinal designated hitter. Here's the 1-2. This is inside, 2-2. Nadai takes off. Throw from Antillian. A delayed call. He's ruled safe. Out at second base. Bang, bang play. Core Jackson taking the throw. Like the umpire was waiting a moment to make the call. Wanted to see if Jackson had held on to the ball. We'll see if we're going to have Gary Henderson calling for a replay on this one. Didn't have any replays yesterday. Jackson tosses the ball back into the pitcher. Nathan White, the home plate umpire, calling the balls and strikes. Ryan Bleiberg out at first. A.J. Lastaglio at second. And Jason Kaminsky at third. And no review. So Henderson is satisfied with the call. 4th and Whirls with a pickoff out to second. Nadai back in safely. Counts 3-2 on Luke Lavin. Payoff pitch. Ground ball, that's going to get through. Skips off the glove of Core Jackson. It'll score another run. Nadai scores RBI single from Luke Lavin. Cardinal lead increases to 4-0. Still only one down here in the third inning. Not been Brett Porthen's day so far. Porthen surrendered 5 hits. Make that 6 hits with that Lavin single. There's a bouncer from Sapien to Jackson at short. Gets it on the short hop, throws across the diamond to retire Sapien. Lavin advances to second. 6-3 putout brings Timo Becerra to the plate. Becerra slashing .305, .359, .329 this year. 0 for 1 today. Looks at strike one. Let's go, Tommy, let's go. Becerra almost gets hit by that pitch, ducks out of the way. Counts 1-1, 2 down. Lavin at second base after an RBI single. Becerra fouls that pitch out of play. Becerra reached on a Core Jackson throwing error in the second inning, was stranded at second. Gets a piece of that ball to stay alive. Timo Becerra, 6'1" junior out of Clovis, California. Two count, 2 down. Checks the runner, the pitch. Hard hit, foul. It's a rope by Becerra. Couldn't keep it fair. Count remains 2-2. If Becerra can reach, it'll be the shortstop Trevor Haskins up next. There's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. That retires the side for Brett Porthen. We're through 2.5. Stanford leads 4-0. Leading off the third inning, trailing 4-0. Left fielder Dakota Duffalo. Duffalo making his first start of the weekend, appeared in 2 games against Cal, both wins over Cal in games 1 and 3 of that series. Looks at ball 1 outside. The 6'1" redshirt junior is out of Mesa, Arizona. Grounds to third. Becerra with a good throw to retire Duffalo. Webster coming to the plate now. Webster grounds to short. Haskins. Throw draws Nadai off the bag again, but he applies the tag. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. Bouncer back up the middle. That'll get through. A 2-out base hit for Core Jackson. That's the first hit of the day for the Utes. Brings Kai Roberts to the plate. Roberts 2 for 8 in the series. Came into this game batting .357. Roberts takes ball 1. Pick off at first. Back in safely is Jackson. Still 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Utah trailing 4-0. Stanford with one run in the first, 1 run in the second, 2 more in the third. They've got 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Utah with no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Another pickoff. Core Jackson over at first leads the Pac-12 with 14 stolen bases. Kai Roberts at the plate, second in the Pac-12 with 13 bags. Formidable duo at the top of the Utah lineup. It's the 1-0 pitch. Finds the outside corner, 1-1. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for Stanford. Trevor Haskins, Brady Reynolds, and Owen Cobb in the fourth. Counts 1-1 now on Kai Roberts. Roberts, a senior out of Skyridge High School. Another pickoff attempt. Ball pops out of Nat-Eye's glove, not far enough away for Core Jackson to advance. This has been the opening weekend across Major League Baseball as well. Always an exciting time of year, opening day. Roberts lines that ball to center, coming in on it. McDonald can't get to it. Jackson, great base running, advances to third on the play. So back-to-back base hits for the Utes with 2 down here in the inning. Now Michael Davini has an RBI opportunity. Utah with 2 hits in the inning. They're only 2 hits of the game. Davini, a right-handed hitter, fouls the first pitch. Davini, only plate appearance in the series before today. It's an RBI single. Pinch hit appearance yesterday. Grounded out to short in his first at-bat this afternoon. As Christian Lim checks Roberts at first. Delivers ball 1. With Jackson and Roberts on the base paths, you do have to wonder a little bit if the threat of speed has gotten to Christian Lim. Impacted his command and control right now as he falls behind Davini, 2-1. Got 2 quick outs to begin the inning against Dakota Duffalo and Brewer Webster, but these 2 base hits from Jackson and Roberts, and he's had to pay a lot of attention to that runner at first. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. Davini has 16 RBI on the year. 16 RBI, tied with Core Jackson for the 3rd most on the team. Lim comes set. Left-hander delivers. Roberts took off on the pitch. Fouled into the screen, still 2-2. Two down, bottom of the 3rd inning. Utah trailing 4-0. Stanford's largest lead of the series. Utah trying to complete their first sweep over Stanford in recorded program history. That runs the count full. Roberts will be in motion on the pitch. .269 hitter Davini back in the box. If Davini can reach, it'll bring TJ Clarkson to the plate. Utah's cleanup hitter this afternoon. There's the 3-2. Misses, ball 4. That'll load the bases. So Michael Davini draws the walk. Good at bat there by Davini, battling with Christian Lim. Here's TJ Clarkson. This is the first time the Utes have threatened today. We'll have a meeting on the mound with the Stanford infield. Stanford led by David Esker. Esker in his 7th season leading the program is a 3-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, joined by assistants Thomas Eager, Steve Rodriguez, and Andre Mercurio. Home plate umpire Nathan White takes a walk out to the mound to break up this meeting. So Utah's loaded the bases with 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They trail 4-0. But cleanup hitter TJ Clarkson coming to the plate. Clarkson could tie this game with 1 swing. Base hit right here at the very least would go a long way towards helping this Utah team get their first sweep over Stanford in the Pac-12 era. First pitch catches the zone, 0-1. TJ Clarkson was hit by a pitch in his only at-bat today. His only plate appearance. It's the 0-1 outside, 1-1. Christian Lim, a freshman left-hander facing off against the senior right-hander Brett Porthen for the Utes. So far, it's been Lim's day. This is outside once again. Count goes to 2-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 2-1. Clarkson goes the other way. That'll get into the stands. As anybody who tuned in yesterday, I was talking about the weather that we were expecting to come through and wondering if we were going to be able to get this game played this afternoon, and so far it's been no issue at all. A little bit overcast, but it might even be clearing a little bit. Of course, I don't know what's going on behind us to the west of Smith's Ballpark, but it's nice right now as Clarkson lines the ball into left field. That's going to score two. A 2 RBI single for TJ Clarkson. The Utes are on the scoreboard. It's 4-2. Now 3 hits in the inning off of Christian Lim. Hadn't given up a hit through the first 2 innings. Brings Hunter Antillian to the plate. 2 RBI single for TJ Clarkson. Gives him 20 ribbies this year. Clarkson second behind only Kai Robertson is 26 runs knocked in. Michael Davini out at second base, TJ Clarkson at first. Davini, if you're wondering about getting the runners in motion, Davini does not have a stolen base to his credit this year. Freshman Lim delivers strike 1. Antillian fooled by the off-speed offering. Utah now trailing 4-2. Trying to tack on a few more. Antillian was the RBI man yesterday, knocked in 3. He's behind nothing in 2 right now. Antillian with the only Utah home run in the series, a solo shot yesterday afternoon. Takes ball 1. That delivery from Lim knocked the hat from his head. Not the head covering, not in the dirt. That's the last thing you want. 1-2, Antillian strikes out swinging. The Utes get 2. We head to the 4th. Utah trailing 4-2.
Hey fans, if you're part of Utah baseball program history and purchase your legacy break today. You ready for this? Leading off first, Trevor Vasquez.
Brett Porthen facing Trevor Haskins to lead off the top of the 4th inning. Strike 1. Porthen got some run support in the bottom of the 3rd. Utah with 3 hits. Scoring 2 runs. It was a 2-run RBI single from TJ Clarkson. Haskins sends the ball deep to center. Roberts going back on it. That's going to be over his head and gone. The 3rd solo home run of the day for the Cardinal. Stanford brought the bats this afternoon. Trevor Haskins with a 4th inning leadoff home run. That's his first long ball of the season. Stanford answers the Utes 2 in the 3rd with a solo shot to lead off the 4th. So Brett Porthen continues to give up hard contact today. Here's Brady Reynolds. Reynolds hits the first pitch hard, but right to TJ Clarkson. 1 down. There's the leadoff hitter, Owen Cobb. Cobb came into this game 2 for 7 in the series. Struck out and popped out to Hunter Antillian. It was a play that Antillian is going to want to put in his highlight reel. It was a high pop right behind the plate. Antillian went back all the way to the netting here at Smith's Ballpark, actually jumped up on the concrete wall and padding behind the plate and made a basket catch Willie Mays style. This was back in the second inning. It ended the frame. Porthan's now 1-1 on Copp. Ball up the middle. Jackson, great stop. Can't beat the speedy Cobb with the throw, unfortunately. An infield single for Owen Cobb. Here's Court McDonald. McDonald with the first home run of the day for Stanford. Stanford came into the series. They had 17 home runs as a team. Pushed that number up to 20 now with today's 3 solo shots. Back pick. Cobb back in safely. Cobb took a big secondary lead. Antillian thought he had a chance. Counts 0-1 on Court McDonald. 1 for 2 this afternoon with that solo home run. Also flew out to left field. Runner goes. Foul ball. Cobb's got 3 stolen bases. High fly center field. Roberts ranges over, makes the grab. 2 down. Stanford has scored in every inning today. They lead 5-2. Here's Malcolm Moore. Pickoff throw, Cobb back in safely. No action in either bullpen. Utah defensively playing Miller to pull the ball on the ground. Straight up in the outfield. Cobb back in safely once again. Core Jackson's about 4 steps on the right side of the second base bag. Brewer Webster slid over into the deep hole. Third baseman Michael Davini playing where the shortstop normally would. He's the only Utah infielder on the left side of second base. If Malcolm Miller could lay down a bunt down the third base line, he'd be able to run forever. There's the 1-0. High fly, Roberts underneath it. That'll retire the side. Another solo home run for the Cardinal. They lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of 4. Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Utes, Carson Bodley. Bodley facing Christian Lim, freshman left-hander. Lim delivers ball 1 to the Utah designated hitter this afternoon, batting .328 on the season, struck out looking in his only plate appearance. Takes strike 1. Counts 1-2. Bodley looks at ball 2 off the outside edge. Bodley comes into this game 1 for 6 in the series. Started yesterday in left field. Lines a ball into the seats. Counts 2-2 on the Utah leadoff hitter. Strike 3 looking. So Carson Bodley strikes out looking for the second time in a row. Brings Cameron Gurney to the plate, making his first appearance since March 16th against Oregon State. Gurney out of Scotland, Ontario. One of 5 Canadians on this Utah team. Counts 0-1 on the Utah first baseman. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Utah trails 5-2. An offensively challenged Stanford team has exploded here in the first 4 innings at Smith's Ballpark, taking advantage of the thin air of Salt Lake City for 3 solo home runs. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Lim. Bouncer to Haskins. 2 down. There's Dakota Duffalo, swings at the first pitch, ground ball. Haskins sliding stop, strong throw, bounces by Nadai. Duffalo turns the corner. That's going to be a throwing error on Trevor Haskins, allowing Dakota Duffalo to advance to second base. Again, Utah starts a rally with 2 down. Brings Brewer Webster to the plate. First time Duffalo has reached today. Webster 0 for 1. He's 1 for 6 in the series. Webster takes strike 1. One and one now on Webster. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Utah trailing 5-2. Duffalo reached on a throwing error by Cardinal shortstop Trevor Haskins. As Webster waves at strike 2. Two and two with strike two on Brewer Webster. Webster, a two-time Gold Glove winner at the junior college level with Salt Lake Community College. Pops that pitch high in the air. Shortstop Haskins underneath it. Makes the catch, retires the side. We head to the fifth. Utah trailing 5-2.
One Stanford here and one left on base. Stanford leads by leading on both the
Leading off in the fifth for Stanford, cleanup hitter, first baseman Jimmy Nadai. Nadai scored a run back in the third inning after singling following a Malcolm Moore solo home run. Hits the first pitch to Kai Roberts out in center field. Can of corn for Roberts. One out. Next up, Luke Lavin. Lavin's making his first start of the weekend, batting 179. He's 1 for 2 today. Lavin, a freshman, making his 10th start of the season. Porthen wanted that strike call. Antillian tried to frame it for him. Can't get the call from Nathan White. Lavin has to hop out of the way of that offering. Counts now 2-0. Defensively for the Utes, same as we started the game. Dakota Duffalo in left, Kai Roberts in center, TJ Clarkson in right. Michael Davini at short, Michael Davini at third, Core Jackson at short, Brewer Webster at second, and Cameron Gurney at first. There's strike one. Hunter Antillian behind the plate. Senior right-hander Brett Porthen got the start. Still going strong here in the fifth inning. Porthen's off-speed pitch catches the zone. Counts 2-2, one down. Ground ball past the diving third baseman Davini. A one-out single brings Jake Sapien to the plate.
Number 39, Jake Sapien.
There's a lot of good contact for Stanford today. That's really been a shift from what they've done the last couple of afternoons against the Utah pitching staff. Even when they had been able to put the ball in play, there wasn't a ton of hard contact. A couple of doubles. There was one bloop double yesterday. But the Cardinal hitting Brett Porthen this afternoon as Porthen delivers strike one. Stanford in the middle of a little bit of a downswing this year. Came into this series 10-11. After dropping the first two games, have fallen to 10-13. Jake Sapien takes strike two from Porthen behind 0-2. The Cardinal will hop on a plane after this game, head down to Lubbock, Texas, for a couple of midweek games against the Texas A&M Aggies. Sapien looks at ball one up above the zone. Utah will play two games against the Utah Valley Wolverines, one here at Smith's Ballpark. 6 o'clock, first pitch on April Fool's Day. No joking there. And they'll travel down to Orem, taking on the Wolverines on Tuesday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. That game will be aired on ESPN+. Monday's game will be right here. You can find it at utahutes.com. Here's the 1-2. Misses outside. And Tillian's doing a good job framing those pitches. But Nathan White behind the plate doesn't want to bite. There's the 2-2. Bouncer to third. Throw goes to second. The turn, they get two. A 5-4-3 double play for the Utes ends the fifth inning. First time Stanford hasn't scored today. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Utah trailing 5-2. Freshman Christian Lim out for his fifth inning of work. Face the top of the Utah order, Core Jackson, Kai Roberts, and Michael Davini. Jackson takes strike one. Pitch misses outside. 1-1. Core Jackson is 1 for 2 this afternoon. Came into this game 4 for 7 in the series with 3 runs scored and an RBI. Gets his second base hit of the ball game right there. Finds a hole through the left side. Utah's leadoff hitter is aboard, Kai Roberts. Roberts hitting .357 this year. Almost a full 100 points above his junior batting average. Roberts hit .266 last season for the Utes. Takes ball one. Ball two, missing outside. Core Jackson with 14 stolen bases, leading the Pac-12 out at first base. With a 2-0 count. Now 3-0. See what Christian Lim wants to do right here. 3-0 against the Utes' number 2 hitter, Kai Roberts. Michael Davini due up. Core Jackson already on. Figure he's going to have to challenge Roberts. He does. Strike one. Three-one count. Utah still trailing 5-2. Bouncer to first. Nadi gets to it. Tags Roberts. Jackson advances to second on the play. One down. Like Nadi lost his footing briefly. Able to recover and get the out. It's Michael Davini. 0 for 1 this afternoon with a walk. Davini came to the Utes out of Aliso Viejo, California, Saddleback College. It's the first pitch out to right center field. Underneath it is McDonald, makes the catch. Jackson tags. He advances safely to third. 90 feet away with 2 down. Bottom of the fifth. RBI chance now for TJ Clarkson, the Utah right fielder. Hitting .207 this season. A 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. Some early season struggles for TJ Clarkson. Looks like his bat's coming around right now. Take strike one from the freshman Lim. Strike two, swinging. Now 0-2 on the Utah cleanup hitter TJ Clarkson out of Gilbert, Arizona. To Mesquite High School. Ball one. If Clarkson can reach, be the catcher Hunter Antillian. Under the glove of Haskins, another RBI base hit for TJ Clarkson. He's knocked in 3 today. Utah trails 5-3. Poor Jackson comes around to score his second run of the afternoon. Here's Hunter Antillian. Jackson scored 5 times in the series. Antillian looking for his first hit today. He went 2 for 3 yesterday with a solo home run and 3 knocked in. Flew out to center field in the second inning, struck out swinging in the third. Counts now 2-0. It's a good curveball from Christian Lim. Runs the count to 2-1 on Antillian. Clarkson out at first. Strike two. Antillian represents the tying run. Utah trailing 5-3 in the fifth. Fouls that ball to the screen to stay alive. Still 2-2. Pitch from Lim. Another foul ball. Still 2-2. Antillian battling Lim right here. Antillian came into this game with a .282 batting average. Played last year at New Mexico State out of Rancho Cucamonga, California. There's another foul ball. Lim checks Clarkson at first. Here's the pitch. Misses high, 3-2. We'll have a payoff pitch here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Hunter Antillian facing Christian Lim with TJ Clarkson on first. Utah trailing 5-3. Another foul ball. They'll do it again. Stanford didn't score a run in the top of the fifth. That was the first frame they haven't scored in this game. 3 solo home runs off of Brett Porthen. We are starting to see a little bit of work down in the Utah bullpen. Actually, both bullpens. Like they have a right-hander up. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 swinging. Antillian's retired. That retires the side. We go to the 6th. Stanford leads 5-3.
He's going to be back at his on Monday. First of the all will be series with the Utah Valley Wolverines. First pitch will be at 6. Leading off for Stanford.
Brett Porthen still on the mound for the Utes as we head to the 6th inning. Porthen will face 7, 8, 9 in the Stanford lineup. Timo Becerra followed by Trevor Haskins and Brady Reynolds. Becerra has been a problem for Utah pitchers this series. He came into today 4 for 8. Still looking for his first base hit today. He struck out looking in the 3rd, reached on an error, and was stranded at 2nd in his first at-bat. Hard hit ball left center field, going back on it. Kai Roberts over his head. One bounce on the track to the wall. And a leadoff double for Timo Becerra. Kai Roberts has been getting his steps in center field. A lot of work out there. Brings Trevor Haskins to the plate. Haskins with one of 3 Stanford solo home runs. That came back in the 4th inning. That was the last run Stanford scored. Ground ball back up the middle. That should score Becerra from 2nd. So a leadoff double and an RBI single. Stanford increases their lead to 6-3.
Number 27, Brady Reynolds.
There's Brady Reynolds. Reynolds looking for his first hit of the series. Came in 0 for 6. It's 0 for 1 today. Now Henderson comes out of the dugout. This might be the end of the road for Brett Porthen. We'll see what Henderson decides to do. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. I believe that is number 12, Branson Keel, coming into the game for the Utes. Is a right-handed junior, 6'2", out of Rapid City, South Dakota, and Stevens High School, taking over for Brett Porthen. We'll take the break. We'll be back with the numbers for the new Utah pitcher. Utes trail 6-3. Back at Smith's Ballpark, Utah trailing Stanford 6-3. Top of the 6th inning, Cardinal have a run in and a runner on. Branson Keel coming into the game, taking over for Brett Porthen. Keel's numbers this season, he's 2-0, making his 9th appearance with a 5.54 ERA in 13 innings. He's given up 13 hits, 8 runs, all 8 have been earned. He's walked 5 and struck out 8. Opponents are hitting .271 against him. Keel will face Brady Reynolds first. Nobody down here in the 6th. Foul ball past the Stanford dugout. 0-1. Trevor Haskins on first. After an RBI single scored Timo Becerra. Becerra started this inning with a leadoff double over the head of Kai Roberts to center field. Brett Porthen still responsible for the runner at first, so he can't close the book on him yet. Went 5+ innings, gave up 11 hits, struck out 2 and didn't walk a batter. There's the pitch to Reynolds. Strike 2, swinging, 0-2. Reynolds struck out 3 times in the past 2 days. 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right. It's hit by a pitch in the second inning. After Reynolds, it'll be Owen Cobb, the top of the Stanford lineup. There's ball 1. Hard hit ground ball just past the first base bag on the foul side. Utah infield defense playing Reynolds straight up. Reynolds strikes out swinging. So Branson Keel gets his first strikeout today.
Number 1, Owen Cobb.
There's Owen Cobb. Keel, the only one of 39 players on the Utah roster from South Dakota. Facing Owen Cobb. Cobb takes strike 1. Like an off-speed pitch. We got 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. And wouldn't you know it, still no rain. There's the 0-1 from Keel after the pickoff attempt. There's the 1-1 pitch from Keel. So pitch out. Trevor Haskins not running. Haskins down at first base has 1 stolen base on the year. 2-1 count on Owen Cobb, hitting .214 coming into this game. Haskins takes off, hit and run. Slow bouncer. It's going to be foul. Foul ball, counts 2-2 on Owen Cobb. There's the 2-2 from Keel. Bouncer in front of the plate. Antillian makes the call. Can't beat. Cobb with the throw. Be an infield single for Owen Cobb. It's his second infield single today. 2 on, 1 down for Court McDonald. Bouncer to Keel. Makes the throw to second. They get Cobb at second base for the second out, and Core Jackson goes down. Cobb slid into Core Jackson at second base. Jackson back up. Looks like he's okay. Trainer's going to head out to check on him real quick. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Branson Keel on in relief of Brett Porthen. Stanford trying to collect some insurance runs right now. They lead 6-3. Catcher Malcolm Moore coming to the plate. So Cobb is retired. Haskins advances to third. Runners at the corners. Strike 1 off speed pitch, catches the inside corner. Malcolm Moore 2 for 3 today with a solo home run in the 3rd inning. Singled in the 1st, flew out to center field in the 4th. Fly ball left field. Duffalo underneath it, makes the catch. That retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cardinal leading 6-3.
Stanford leads 6-3. Your attention, please. Pitch hitting flags off.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th, pinch hitting for designated hitter Carson Bodley, it's Landon Fry. Landon Fry, a junior infielder for the Utes, facing Christian Lim. Fry takes strike 1. He joined the Utes out of Snow Canyon High School, grew up in Santa Clara, Utah. Last year as a sophomore, Fry started 51 games. Splitting time between 2nd, 3rd, and the designated hitter, ended up hitting .243 on the season. Hasn't had the same success this year, comes into this series slashing .083. Still looking for his first extra base hit. He's behind 0-2 against Lim. Foul ball out of play. Line drive to center field. McDonald makes the catch to retire Fry. Bring Cam Gurney to the plate. Gurney 0 for 2 this afternoon. Takes ball 1 beneath the zone. Christian Lim, the freshman, looked pretty good for Stanford today. Giving up 3 runs, 5 hits. So ball in the dirt, but overall Lim has showed some really good command of the strike zone, keeping Utah hitters on their toes throughout this game. After Gurney, it'll be Dakota Duffalo, Utah left fielder. Gurney fouls that pitch out of play. Counts 2-1. Gurney, the Scotland, Ontario native, hit .279 last year as a freshman for the Utes. Had 6 doubles, 4 home runs, and finished the season 5th on the team and led all freshmen with 31 RBI. Takes ball 3, counts 3-1. The 3-1 count. Chance at a hitter's pitch here for Cam Gurney. See if he can turn one around and do some damage. Gurney draws the walk. So a 1-out walk for Gurney. Brings Duffalo to the plate. The second walk issued by Lim. Of course, as soon as I start talking about his command of the strike zone, he issues a free pass. Redshirt junior Dakota Duffalo now. Duffalo is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 4th inning. Strike evens the count 1-1. Duffalo hitting .273 this year. Came to the Utes out of Mesa, Arizona and Red Mountain High School. Made 32 starts for Gary Henderson's team last year. Fouls that ball back 1-2. As a redshirt freshman in 2002, Duffalo hit .293. Followed it up with a .244 redshirt sophomore season. Had 4 doubles, 1 triple, 1 long ball, and scored 22 runs with 11 RBI. One-two count here in the bottom of the 6th. Utah trailing 6-3. That pitch misses just barely outside. That was close. Good eye from Duffalo. Takes a strong constitution to take that pitch with a 1-2 count. Gurney takes the lead off of first after drawing the walk. That's the pitch. Popped out of play. The It's the last year of Pac-12 action for both of these programs. The Utes, a lot of new things in store coming up. They'll be moving into the Big 12 Conference in all athletics starting next year. I guess this calendar year, the 2024-25 academic calendar year is when the Utes will start playing the Big 12. Counts now 3-2 on Dakota Duffalo. Utah will also open up a new on-campus baseball stadium next season as Duffalo strikes out swinging.
Number 8, Brewer Webster.
Brewer Webster coming to the plate. That new stadium for the Utes, it'll be at the site of their current on-campus practice field. Be named America First Ballpark, set to open in the 2025 season. New ballpark's going to be right there on Guardsman's Way, scheduled to have a 1,200 seat capacity. Fan amenities, concessions, restrooms, ticket office, merchandise sales, of course, locker room facilities, locker rooms, coaches' offices, a training room, medical space. So it should be a great upgrade for this Utah baseball team. Comes at an expected cost of $35 million. And all of those funds raised privately. Webster steps into the box. Takes ball one. Brewer Webster 0 for 2 today. Came into this game hitting .250. Known more for his glove than his bat. Looks at strike one on the outside corner. Webster, a 2-time Gold Glove winner, across the valley at Salt Lake Community College, 2021 and 2022. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes strike two. Behind 1-2 with 2 down here in the 6th. Utah trailing by 3. Webster reaches out, hits that one foul off the end of the bat. Jimmy Nadeye, Luke Lavin, Jake Sapien due up. Utah trailing by 3. By no means is this game out of reach. Webster looks at ball 2. And again, Christian Lim loses his hat. Maybe go a quarter size smaller. Maybe you got a haircut and that's why it's not quite fitting right. Webster and his .242 average into the left-handed box. Here's the 2-2. Now 3-2. Full count. That'll put Gurney in motion. Stanford with 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. The Utes with 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Webster pops that ball. Foul territory behind third base. Becerra going over, makes the catch. Becerra is great with the glove. At least he has been this weekend. We go to the 7th. Utah trailing 6-3.
Oregon State with 6 in Utah.
Back at Smith's Ballpark, Brian Priest with you as the Utes trying to complete a 3-game sweep over the Stanford Cardinal. It would be the first sweep for the Utes over Stanford in the Pac-12 era. First sweep in recorded Utah program history as well. Branson Keel still on the mound for the Utes. They've got a little bit of work to do if they want to complete this sweep, trailing 6-3. Keel pitching to Jimmy Nadai, the Cardinal cleanup hitter. Nadai takes strike one. This is Keel's first appearance of the weekend. Came on in a jam in the 5th inning. In the 6th inning, I apologize, Brett Porthen had put a couple of runners on. Keel came in, gave up one hit, allowed a run to score, struck out a batter to get through the inning. Still going strong here in the 7th. As Kai Roberts makes a diving grab. Seen some great defensive plays by both teams all series long. I think that's the 3rd diving catch in the outfield we've seen today. Now Luke Lavin coming to the plate. Lavin shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Lavin is 2 for 3 this afternoon with an RBI. Came into the game batting 179, but in limited at-bats this year, he's bumped that up to 226 with 2 base hits. A fly ball out to left. Duffalo going back on it, makes a leaping grab right in front of the wall on the warning track. Another good defensive play in the outfield. Ball out the bat of Lavin just kept carrying. I thought it was going to drop and never did. 2 down here for Jake Sapien. Sapien doubled and scored back in the 2nd inning. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end the 5th. It's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Takes strike one. Keel giving the Utes some valuable innings right now. Bouncer to 3rd, foul. Ball was just beyond the reach of a diving Michael Davini. Sapien hitting .289 this year. 2 doubles in the series, the only 2 extra base hits of his season. Pitch in the dirt, good stuff by Antillian. Stanford in front, 6-3, trying to hang on to this. Keel strikes out Sapien to end the 7th inning. Time to stretch at Smith's. Utah trails 6-3.
6-3. All right, it's the middle of the 7th inning, and you know what?
Pitching change for the Cardinal. Trevor Moore coming in for his 2nd appearance of the weekend. He threw an inning in game 1. Taking over for Christian Lim. Lim went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs. All of them were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. It's a terrific performance from the left-handed freshman. Trevor Moore will be facing Jackson Core leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Utah down to their last 9 outs as they try and climb back into this game. Jackson looks at strike 1. That's going to be a ground ball base hit over the glove of Timo Becerra. Second hit of the game, or third hit of the game for Core Jackson, brings Kai Roberts to the plate. Looking at Trevor Moore, a 6'1" right-handed sophomore out of Golden, Colorado. He's making his 12th appearance of the year, 11 out of the bullpen. He's got a 4.67 ERA, 2-0 record. 27 innings, he's given up 30 hits, 19 runs, 14 earned. Struck out 28 while walking 7. Got some speed on the base paths right now in the form of Core Jackson. Roberts hits the first pitch deep. Left center field, bounces off the wall. Jackson's going to score. RBI double for Kai Roberts. It's 6-4. Core Jackson scores for the 3rd time today. It's the 12th double, leading the team for Kai Roberts. Now Utah trails by 2. Michael Davini represents the tying run here in the 7th inning. Utes just keep chipping away. Brandon Hostert did not pitch yesterday after throwing in Game 1. Would imagine he's available. Not sure about the status of Pac-12 saves leader Micah Ashman after throwing the last 2 days. But if I got my numbers right, Ashman's only thrown 16 pitches of game action in those 2 appearances. Davini behind 0-1. Takes strike 2. That double for Roberts was his 2nd extra base hit of the series. 2 for 4 this afternoon. Davini hits that off the end of the bat to stay alive. Michael Davini from Saddleback College. Played there the last 2 seasons. I think that pitch might have hit him on the hand. Davini looks like he's in a lot of pain right now. I don't know if that hit his fingers on the swing. So the umpire, Nathan White, the home plate umpire, is calling Davini out. So I think the ruling is going to be that Davini swung, the pitch hit him on the hand, but because it didn't hit the bat, it's not considered a foul ball. Davini's not going back to the dugout. The umpire's having a conference right here. They want to make sure they get this call right. Gary Henderson lurking right behind home plate, just waiting to see what the final call is. 4 umpires today. Nathan White behind the plate, Ryan Bleiberg at first, AJ Lastaglio at second, and Jason Kaminsky at third. An interesting play right here. Looks like Davini's okay. He's holding the bat like he's ready to continue the at-bat. If the umpires rule that's not strike 3. It's a long conversation.
Number 13, T.J. Carson.
All right, back at Smith's Ballpark. So after an extended review, the ruling on the field was that Devaney swung at that pitch, and even though it seemed to hit his hand, it counts as a swing. Goes down as strike 3. So Devaney is retired, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kai Roberts at second base, TJ Clarkson at the plate now. Clarkson has 3 RBIs today. 2 RBI single in the 3rd. Another RBI single in the 5th. One count now for TJ Clarkson. Two and one. Trevor Moore still on the mound for Stanford in his first inning of work. Moore came in relief of Christian Lim, who went 6 strong. Rhett Porthen started for the Utes, went 5 innings, gave up 11 hits and 6 runs. Ground ball to second base. Cobb throws to get Clarkson at first. Roberts advances to third.
Number 15, Hunter Antillia.
So a 4-3 putout brings Hunter Antillia to the plate. Moore drops an off-speed pitch into the zone for strike 1 against Antillian. Antillian's got 3 RBI in the series. All of them came yesterday. So liner to center field. Coming in, McDonald makes a diving grab. The Webb Gems continue at Smith's Ballpark. Stanford leads 6-4. We're through 7. Right-handed junior Branson Keel still on the mound for the Utes, entering his 3rd inning of work. Keel facing Timo Becerra, Cardinal 3rd baseman. 7, 8, 9 hitters coming to the plate for Stanford in the inning. Top of the 8th, Cardinal with a 2-run lead. Stanford's really just flipped the script from the last couple of days. The Utes took a lead and had to hold on. Now Stanford's trying to do the same. It's ball 2 off the outside edge. Becerra doubled and scored back in the 6th inning. Came into this game batting .309. Looks at strike 1 from Keel. Leadoff hitters are batting .364 against the junior right-hander. Becerra looks at strike 2. Evens the count at 2. Here's the 2-2. High pop. That looks like it's going to get into the seats. And a souvenir for the Brave fans coming out on the Saturday before Easter Sunday. Not afraid of the cold. Spring baseball in Utah. It's rarely ideal weather conditions, but we get it done. Becerra back into the box. Another foul pop right into my box. If I had a window, I might have been able to make a play. One day, I'm going to get a foul ball. Still 2-2, top of the 8th inning. Stanford leading 6-4. Hard hit line drive to Duffalo, positioned perfectly. And left to make the catch. That's what the scouting report is for.
Number 5, Trevor Haskins.
Brings a shortstop, Trevor Haskins. Haskins had a solo home run in the 4th. Singled and was stranded at 3rd in the 6th inning. He is 2 for 3 this afternoon. 3 runs knocked in for the Cardinal shortstop. Take strike 1. Good pitch from Branson Keel. He's looked sharp. Now 1-1 on Haskins. Keel's longest outing of the year came back his first outing. He went 3 1/3 innings against California Baptist in a 9-4 Utah win. Finds strike 2 right there. Counts 1-2. 1 down. His last 2 outings, Keel went 2 innings, giving up 1 hit against Northern Colorado. That ball is deposited into right field. A 1-out single for Trevor Haskins. And last weekend against the Cal Bears, Keel went 2 1/3, giving up 2 hits, striking out a pair. We've got a pinch hitter for the Cardinal. Pinch hitting for Brady Reynolds. It's Gabe Springer. The first at-bat of the series for Springer, a sophomore infielder. Springer out of Boulder, Colorado, went to Fairview High School. In 10 at-bats this year, he's hitting .300, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBI. Strike 1 evens the count. Stanford will be in Lubbock, Texas next. 2 games against the Texas A&M Aggies. The Utes will play a home-and-home series Monday and Tuesday against the Utah Valley Wolverines. Ball 2 misses inside. Game 1 against the Wolverines, Monday, 6 o'clock here at Smith's Ballpark. Find it on UtahUtes.com. Utah live stream. Yours truly on the call. There's the 2-1 pitch. In the dirt. Good dig by Antillian behind the plate. Count goes to 3-1 on the pinch hitter. Reynolds getting pinch hit for in this spot. He has struggled this series. He's 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Stanford trying to add some insurance. And Springer draws the walk. That turns the order over. We go to the top of the order, leadoff hitter Owen Cobb.
Number 1, Owen Cobb.
Runners at first and second now against Branson Keel.
Your attention, please. Pitcher at first base for Stanford, number 4, Saborn Campbell.
Pinch runner at first. Saborn Campbell coming in to run for Gabe Springer. Campbell started in center field yesterday for the Cardinal. And before Owen Cobb has a chance to hit against Branson Keel, Utah third-year manager Gary Henderson pops out of the dugout. Henderson will make the call to the bullpen. So we'll take the break. We'll be back. The numbers for the new Utah pitcher. Top of the 8th inning, 2 runners on. Stanford leads 6-4. Brandon Hostert into the game for the Utes. Hostert with a 3-2 one-loss record this year, making his 12th appearance. All 12 have come out of the bullpen. Got a 3.12 ERA in 26 innings. Hostert will be facing the top of the Stanford lineup with 1 down here in the top of the 8th and 2 on. Owen Cobb followed by Court McDonald. And if either of them can reach Malcolm Moore. Hostert with strike 1. In those 26 innings, he's given up 22 hits, surrendered 10 runs, 9 have been earned. Struck out 26 while walking 5, and opponents have a .237 batting average against. Ground ball to short. That's got a chance to be 2. Jackson to Webster. The relay not in time. Gurney tried to stretch. So that'll be scored as a fielder's choice. 6-4-3. It's a bang-bang play at first, but Owen Cobb again beats a close throw out at first base. That's the 3rd time today he's done it. The last couple of times it resulted in infield singles. This time he reaches on the fielder's choice. Now 2 down in the 8th. Utah still trailing 6-4. Trevor Haskins at third base. Cobb at first. RBI chance for Court McDonald. First pitch swinging. Out to left field. Duffalo makes the grab. Hostert comes in, gets the job done. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Utah still trails 6-4.
6-4. Your pitcher, please. Pitcher Carpenter.
Trevor Moore still on the mound for Stanford as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Utah pinch hitter number 5, Caden Carpenter. Carpenter hitting in the 6 hole. He'll be followed by Cam Gurney and Dakota Duffalo. Caden Carpenter, a sophomore outfielder, left-handed hitting out of American Fork High School, the American Fork Cavemen. It's a beautiful off-speed pitch Drops in the curveball from Trevor Moore. Counts 0-2 on Carpenter. Carpenter looks at ball one. Carpenter in the series still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 5 with an RBI. Evens the count 2-2. So after falling behind 0-2, Carpenter draws 3 straight balls, runs the count full against Trevor Moore. Utah trying to claw back into this game. They trailed 4-0, 5-2, 6-3. Now trail 6-4 as Carpenter strikes out looking. Thought it was ball 4. Nathan White felt like it caught the outside corner. Carpenter has a question for Nathan White as he walks back to the dugout. Here's Cameron Gurney. Tough call against Carpenter right there, but it's close enough on a full count late in the game. You've got to have the bat moving. Gurney looks at ball one. Sitting just a little under 3 hours for game time right now. Gurney bounces to Haskins at short. Good throw. Gurney's retired. Now Dakota Duffalo will hit with 2 down. Duffalo came into the game batting .300, making his first start of the weekend. Duffalo looks at strike one. Coming into today's game, the Utes, despite winning the first 2 games of the series, had been out-hit by Stanford 17-14. The Cardinal running away with 13 hits in this game compared to just 7 for Utah. That pitch bounces in front of the plate, 1-1. Strike 2 against Duffalo. Brandon Hostert finished the top of the 8th inning for Utah on the mound. Got 2 pitchers working in the bullpen right now. We'll see if Hostert comes back out for the 9th. Utah with 1 day off before that home-and-home series against Utah Valley. 1-2 misses outside. Two count, 2 down, bottom of the 8th inning. Utah trails by 2. Duffalo high, hard, out to left. Shy! Dakota Duffalo's first home run of the season brings the Utes within 1. It's 6-5 in the 8th. Duffalo crushes a 2-2 pitch over the left field wall. Utah trails 6-5. The second run of the game given up by Trevor Moore. That'll get some action started down in the Stanford bullpen. Moore will face not Brewer Webster, it's Matt Flaherty. Flaherty swings at the first pitch. It's a little blooper over Becerra into left field. So a pinch hit, base hit for Matt Flaherty. Out of the top of the Utah lineup, Core Jackson. Core Jackson already has 3 hits today. He's scored 3 times. So Utah trailing 6-5. Trying to complete this comeback. They already have a comeback here at Smith's Ballpark from 9-0 against Oregon State. They're trailing by 9 and coming back to beat the Beavers. A 4-run deficit against Stanford should be easy work, right? Counts 1-0 on the Utah junior shortstop. Flaherty dives back in ahead of the pickoff throw. Warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. It's number 12, Torin O'Haron. If Jackson can reach, Kai Roberts will hit. That should be a base hit for Core Jackson. That's going to be his 4th single of the ball game. Flaherty slides safely into third base. The Utes have runners at the corners for Kai Roberts. That Flaherty represents the tying run down at third base. Roberts doubled home Core Jackson in his last at-bat. He is 2 for 4 today with an RBI and a run scored, batting .363 this year. We'll see if Trevor Moore will get the chance to face Roberts. 7th-year head coach David Esker takes the walk out to the mound. Torin O'Haron warming up down in the first base bullpen. Haven't had a signal to the bullpen yet. Moore's been touched up a little bit. That's 5 hits that he's given up in 1 2/3 innings. Responsible for both base runners here. Utah up to 10 hits in the ballgame. Been doing a lot of damage with 2 outs in the last 2 innings. Dakota Duffalo with a solo home run earlier in the inning. It was Duffalo's first long ball of the season. Now got 6 runs batted in. And Moore is going to stay in this ballgame. It will be Trevor Moore facing Kai Roberts. So Trevor Moore and his 4.67 earned run average. Utah trying to tie this ball game up. They've got runners at the corners with 2 down, bottom of the 8th inning. Left-handed hitting Kai Roberts at the plate, leading the Utes with a .357 batting average. Takes ball 1. Nadi holding the runner on at first. Becerra even with the bag at third. Owen Cobb at second base, playing 2 or 3 steps onto the grass. And Trevor Haskins at short. Here's the 2-0. Roberts takes strike 1. Roberts came in batting .357. He's up that to .363 with a couple of base hits today. Ground Ground ball through the middle. That'll score Flaherty. Utah ties the game. 6-6. Jackson advances to third. Kai Roberts gets the job done on a 2-1 count. Utah scores 2 runs with 2 down here in the 8th inning to tie the game. It's 6-6. And that'll force the change. Trevor Moore coming out. We'll take the break. We'll be back with the numbers for the new Cardinal pitcher. Utah scored 2 runs in the 8th to tie the game. It's 6-6. Back at Smith's Ballpark, Brian Priest with you. The Utes have just tied the game up in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Kai Roberts with an RBI single up the middle, scoring Matt Flaherty. The Utes in the last 2 innings picked up 6 base hits off of Trevor Moore, all 6 coming with 2 outs in the inning, to score 3 runs coming back from a 6-3 deficit, tying this game at 6. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Torin O'Haron's going to be facing Utah third baseman Michael Davini. Taking a look at O'Haron's numbers this year. He's 0-2, making his 11th appearance out of the bullpen. 4.72 ERA, 13 1/3 innings. He's given up 9 hits, 7 earned runs, and struck out 16 while walking 12. Right-handed throwing O'Haron with strike 1. This is the second appearance of the series for O'Haron. Went 2 innings, didn't give up a hit in Thursday's game 1. That pitch misses outside. Utah still has runners at the corners. Core Jackson at third, Roberts at first. Here's the 1-1. Foul. Six, bottom of the 8th inning. Torin O'Haron, the third pitcher on the mound for Stanford today. Davini just stays alive. Davini is 0 for 3 today, hitting .259 on the season. Reached once on a walk back in the 3rd inning. Davini has a chance to put Utah in front. Roberts takes off. Little nubber. Cobb comes in on it. Retires Davini. That ends the inning, but the Utes tie it up with a pair of runs. We head to the 9th, tied at 6. Matt Flaherty stays in the game after pinch hitting, singling and scoring in the bottom of the 8th inning. Came in the game for Brewer Webster. He'll stay in as a defensive replacement. Randon Hostert still on the mound for the Utes. Hostert enters his 2nd inning of work. It's Malcolm Moore leading off, followed by Jimmy Nadai and Luke Lavin. Utah has shown the fighter spirit in this ball game, battling back from an early 4-run deficit. They've trailed all night before coming back to tie this game in the bottom of the 8th. And Flaherty tries to backhand that ball, bobbles it, but picks it up quickly and still gets the out. Fortunate for Flaherty there. That's anybody but the catcher getting down the line. He might not be so lucky. Either way, that's 1 out. Now Jimmy Nadai with an opportunity. Nadai 1 for 4 today, batting .308 this year. Takes ball 2 from Hoster. Hoster got the final 2 outs of the 8th. Now behind Nadai, 3-0. Nadai looks at strike 1. Count goes to 3-1. Still haven't seen any of that rain we expected this afternoon, and it's been a godsend because we've had a great game instead. Nadai fouls the ball out of the stadium. Smith's Ballpark, home of the Salt Lake City Bees, AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. Here's the 3-2. Nadai stays alive with the foul ball. Strike 3. Hoster gets the strikeout looking. Two down in the top of the 9th inning, still tied at 6. Coming to the plate, we're going to have another pinch hitter for Stanford. This time, pinch hitting for left fielder Luke Lavin, it's Ethan Hott. Hott batting .275 this year. Hott started in center field on Thursday and went 0 for 2. Takes strike 1 from Hoster. And there's strike 2. Utah pitchers with 7 strikeouts today. Hoster looking for the 8th. Foul ball. Count remains 0-2 on Ethan Hott. Stanford pinch hitter batting .275 this year. He's got 14 hits in 51 at-bats. 3 runs knocked in. He struck out 8 times and walked 4 times. Looks at ball 1. Nobody up in either bullpen. Goes the 1-2. Another foul ball. Catches the front facade here at Smith's Ballpark and bounces back to the Stanford dugout. Souvenir down there for one lucky fan. Here's the 1-2. Hott turns that ball around. Lines it into center field for a two-out single. That brings Jake Sapien to the plate.
Number 39, Jake Sapien.
Sapien 1 for 4 this afternoon with a double. Hoster checks the runner. Bouncer foul down the third base line. Davini picks it up, tosses it back to his pitcher. Brett Porthen started for the Utes, went 5 innings, gave up 11 hits, 6 runs, struck out 2. Branson Keel came in, went 2 1/3, giving up 2 hits, no runs, walking 1 and striking out 2. It's hot back in ahead of that pickoff attempt. There's the 0-1. Line to left field, underneath it, making the catch. Odin Duffalo retires the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Tied 6-6. Here at Smith's Ballpark, bottom of the ninth inning, Torin O'Haron on the hill for Stanford. Facing T.J. Clarkson. Clarkson, the Utah cleanup hitter, playing right field today. He is 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. Fouls the first pitch out of play. After Clarkson, it'll be Hunter Antillian. And then a pinch hitter in the designated hitter spot. The Utes have battled all the way back to tie this game at 6. Are we going to get a walk-off here today? A walk-off to sweep Stanford for the first and would be the only time in the Pac-12 era as both of these programs look to move on from their Pac-12 home next year. The Utes will be in the Big 12. Here's the 0-2. Clarkson pops out to the left. McDonald comes in on it to make the catch. Court McDonald defensively shifted from center field to left, with Ethan Hott staying in the game in center field and Saborn Campbell staying in right for Brady Reynolds. There's Hunter Antillian. 1 down, bottom of the ninth inning. Antillian, hard hit ball to second. Cobb up with it, drops it. The throw still beats Antillian. So one good play deserves another here at Smith's Ballpark. Both halves of the ninth inning, the catcher has grounded to second base. Second baseman bobbled the ball and had time to pick it up and still get the out at first. 2 down. Here's Caden Carpenter. Carpenter gets hit by the pitch. Not what Torin O'Haron wants to do right there. Utah with the winning run aboard. Cameron Gurney coming to the plate. Been a tough year for Cameron Gurney. This is a great chance to turn things around for the sophomore infielder. Gurney playing first base for the Utes today. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. he hits the first pitch out to center field. Underneath it is Hot, making the catch. We're going to extras. We got free baseball at Smith's Ballpark. 6-6, headed to 10.
Roll 10.
Brandon Hostert facing Timo Beseda to start the 10th. Beseda looks at strike one from Hostert. Hostert into his third inning. He's gone 1 2/3, giving up 1 hit, struck out 1. Ahead 0-2 on Beseda. Nobody up in the Utah bullpen. Some wandering going on down in the Stanford bullpen, but nobody out of their warm-up coats. There's the 0-2. Misses outside. Look out right there. Becerra ducks out of the way. And he appealed down to first. They're going to say Becerra swung. Stanford not happy with that call. Becerra was trying to duck out of the way of that pitch, and they're going to say in the act of trying to avoid the hit by pitch, he strikes out swinging. So 1 down here in the 10th. Tough call against Stanford. Second strikeout for Hostert. There's Trevor Haskins. Haskins looks at strike one. Hostert dealing right now. 0-2 on the Stanford shortstop. Trevor Haskins is 3 for 3 today. The solo home run and a pair of singles. He's knocked in 3. Hostert buries that pitch. Counts 1-2. Haskins strikes out swinging. 2 down in the 10th. 3 strikeouts for Hostert. Saborn Campbell. Campbell came in as a pinch runner. Stayed in as a defensive replacement for Brady Reynolds. Campbell started yesterday, ended up going 0 for 3, scored a run. Takes strike one from Hostert. Brandon Hostert is locked in right now. See if he can finish the inning. That's been a troublesome spot for both teams. They get 2 outs. And then traffic happens. Campbell behind 0-2. Hostert trying to strike out the side in the 10th. Here's the 0-2. Just misses outside. Nice pitch from Hostert. Better take from Campbell. The 1-2. Foul ball stays alive. 2 up in the bottom half of the 10th. Dakota Duffalo, Matt Flaherty, followed by the number 1 hitter, Core Jackson. Duffalo with a solo home run already today. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer Flaherty coming in on it. And they get Campbell. We go to the bottom of the 10th. 6-6 at Smiths. Brian Priest with you back here at Smiths Ballpark. Free baseball time. The Utes came back to tie Stanford late, scoring 3 runs between the 7th and the 8th innings, tying this game at 6. We head to the bottom of the 10th inning. It's Torrin O'Haron still on the mound. O'Haron will face Dakota Duffalo, followed by Matt Flaherty and Core Jackson. Taking a look at the schedules, Utah is 3-0 in extra inning games this year. They beat UC San Diego 4-3 and Cal State Bakersfield 6-5 in the last week of February. Then here, just about a week and a half ago, Utah beat the Northern Colorado Bears 7-6 in 12 innings. It was Drake DiGiorno with a walk-off double, scoring Kai Roberts to win that game. Utah looking for their second walk-off win of the season here at Smiths Ballpark. Dakota Duffalo leads off the 10th. Duffalo takes ball 1. Dakota Duffalo is 1 for 4 today, but that one was a huge solo home run. Came in the 8th inning with 2 down. Got the scoring started. Utah's run in the 7th and both runs in the 8th came with 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. Duffalo takes strike 2. Duffalo hitting .292 this season. That's just his 25th at bat. And strikes out looking against O'Haron. So 1 down in the bottom of the 10th. Here's Matt Flaherty. Flaherty pinch hit for Brewer Webster in the 8th. Singled, ended up coming around to score the tying run. O'Haron gets the signs. Here's the pitch. This is low. Flaherty batting .235 this season. Out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Brief delay right there as we get a ball out of play. There's the 1-0. Make it 1-1 for Matt Flaherty. After pinch hitting for Webster, Flaherty stayed in the game defensively at second base. He's got some good defensive versatility, able to play second, third, or short. Ahead 2-1 right now against Torrin O'Haron. 6-6, bottom of the 10th inning, 1 down. Strike 2. Flaherty can't catch up to that offering. Core Jackson due up next. Jackson's 4 for 5 this afternoon. Flaherty lifts the 2-2 out to left field near the foul line. McDonald makes the catch, 2 down. Still no action in either bullpen, so Torrin, O'Haron, Randon, Hostert getting their money's worth today. O'Haron's thrown 20 pitches in 2 innings. Hostert through 2 2/3 has thrown 33 pitches. 25 have been strikes. Here's Core Jackson. Looks at ball 1. Jackson 4 for 5 today with 3 runs scored. He's scored 6 times in the series. Cardinal with 6 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. Utah 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Pushes the count to 2-1. There's the pitch. Ball 3, that's outside. If Jackson reaches, Kai Roberts would get a chance to hit. 1-2 batters in the Utah lineup. Been great today. Roberts has 3 hits himself. So between the two, 7 of Utah's 11 hits. 3-1 count, right-handed O'Haron back on the hill. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Utes next 6 games come in non-conference play. They don't play a Pac-12 opponent again until April 12th when they'll be at Arizona State. Jackson fouls another pitch away. Core Jackson battling with O'Haron right here. There's the payoff pitch. Ball 4. So the speedy Core Jackson goes to first. The Pac-12 stolen bases leader. Representing the winning run with Kai Roberts coming to the plate. We'll see if Coach Henderson puts a hit and run on or even just goes with a straight steal. Core Jackson's got some great speed. 14 stolen bases already this year. Roberts looks at ball 1 outside. Jackson stayed put there. Strike 1. Counts 1-1. Bottom of the 10th inning. Tied at 6. Jackson takes off. The throw down to second. Jackson is nailed. Jackson was out by a full step. We head to the 11th. Still tied at 6. We head to the 11th. Randon Hostert still pitching for Utah. Top of the Stanford order due up. Owen Cobb, followed by Court McDonald and Malcolm Moore. Cobb 2 for 5 this afternoon. Cobb looks at strike 1 from Hostert. Hostert struck out 2 in the 10th. Got 3 total strikeouts today. Cobb waves weakly at that pitch. Strike 2. That could be extra bases for Owen Cobb. Down the left field line, Cobb digging around second. He'll hold up there. But a leadoff double for Owen Cobb. Stanford has the leading run in scoring position with nobody out.
Number 22, Court McDonald.
Good job by Cobb. Gets the head of the bat out in front of that ball. Rips it down the left field line for a double. Here's Court McDonald. Kickoff attempt. Cobb back in safely. It's a good move by Hostert. Court Jackson trying to sneak in behind Owen Cobb. There's strike 1 on McDonald. Court McDonald got the scoring started. The solo home run in the first inning. It's his 3rd home run of the year. Has not reached since. Apologies, he reached in the 6th on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be extra bases as well. That'll score a run. Stanford takes the lead. They're in front 7-6. Back-to-back doubles to start the 11th inning off of Randon Hostert. Cardinal trying to salvage a win in the final game of this 3-game series. On the line for the Utes is the first sweep of the Pac-12 era against this Stanford team. There's Malcolm Moore. After Moore, it'll be Jimmy Nadeye and Ethan Hott. Moore pops the first pitch into foul territory over by the Utah bench. Gets out of play. 0-1 now on Malcolm Moore. Moore is 2 for 5 with one of their 3 solo home runs. His came back in the 3rd. Since then, he's flown out to center field, flown out to left, and grounded out to second. McDonald at second base in scoring position after a double. Little nubber to Jackson at short, charges in. Makes a good throw to get Malcolm Moore. So 1 down in the 11th. McDonald advances to 3rd on the play. Here's Jimmy Nadeye. Hostert hits Nadeye. Puts runners at the corners. So after bringing the infield in, trying to take away the run at the plate. Henderson sends the defense back Double play depth for Jackson and Flaherty at short and second. Gurney's holding on the runner at first. Davini out at the hot corner playing even with the bag. Utah trailing 7-6. Scored 3 unanswered runs in the 7th and 8th innings to tie this game and force extras. Still a little work left to be done if they want this sweep. It's hot, tries to get the bunt down. Hoster can't make the catch, and everybody's going to be safe. Court McDonald comes in to score. That's not how you teach the bunt. Ethan Hott popped that bunt up. Brandon Hostert, getting off the mound, tried to make the diving catch. Just not quite long enough, and everybody ends up safe on the play. Still one down. Stanford now leads 8-6. There's Jake Sapien. They get a timeout. Gary Henderson comes out to have a conversation with Hostert. Runners on first and second for Stanford. Jimmy Nadai got hit by a pitch. He's out at second base. Ethan Hott. After that, what's going to end up being a bunt single. And we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll go ahead and take a break here in the top of the 11th inning. Utah trailing Stanford 8-6. New pitcher for the Utes, right-handed freshman Cameron Nielsen. 6'1" out of Cottonwood High School. Just down the road, Cameron Nielsen in his first season with the Utes. Making his 4th appearance. He's got a 1-0 record at 2.25 earned run average in 4 innings. Nielsen's given up 4 hits. Only allowed 1 run to score. He struck out 4 and walked 1, with opponents batting .235 against him. Nielsen facing designated hitter Jake Sapien, who lines the first pitch through the hole. That's going to score another run for the Cardinals. Stanford had some insurance, leading 9-6. Sapien with the RBI single. Jimmy Nadai comes around to score on the play. It's now 3 runs in the inning. It's Timo Becerra. Runner from second takes off. Throw from Antillian. Nails the base runner. That was Ethan Hott. 2 down now. The second base runner napped by Hunter Antillian behind the plate today. Antillian's had a spectacular defensive showing. Couple base runners thrown out, made a catch on the wall behind home plate on a foul pop. And Becerra lines the 0-1 up the middle for another base hit. That's now 5 hits in the inning for the Cardinal. Here's Trevor Haskins. That'll be extra bases as well. Gets to the gap, bounces all the way to the wall. It'll score 2. Stanford has blown this game wide open. 6 hits in the inning. 3 of the extra base variety. The Cardinal lead 11-6. This has gone south quickly. Still 2 down in the inning. Cameron Nielsen came in relief of Randon Hostert. That also closes the book on Hostert. Let's give you his numbers. Randon Hostert went 3+ innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 3. Hostert put on a valiant effort keeping Utah in this game as they were fighting to come back. Throwing into extra innings. He was looking good until it looked like fatigue just caught up with him. Sayborn Campbell looks at ball 1. Campbell batting .200 this year. Campbell's the 9th Cardinal to bat in the inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Nielsen. In the dirt, 2-1. Sayborn Campbell came in as a pinch runner late. It's 0 for 1 this afternoon. 5 hits and 25 at-bats this year. There's the 3-0 from Nielsen. Misses outside. Campbell draws the walk. Now the top of the order. Stanford bats around officially. There's Owen Cobb. Cobb led off the inning with a double. Scored on Court McDonald's double. Stanford's 5-run 11th has just deflated this crowd here at Smith's Ballpark. Looked like Antillian wanted to make a snap throw down to first. It popped out of his hand. Counts 0-1 on Owen Cobb. Cobb 3 for 6 this afternoon with a run scored. Fouls the ball off of his own leg. It was 6-6 when the inning started. It's now 11-6. Nielsen again misses outside. The freshman from Cottonwood struggling with the strike zone right now. A 1-2 count on the Cardinal leadoff hitter. Liner to Jackson. Gets it on the short hop and overthrows Gurney at first. Another run will trot home. So Trevor Haskins comes around to score. It'll be a throwing error on Core Jackson. Second error of the game for Utah brings Court McDonald to the plate. Still runners at the corners. Saborn Campbell advanced to third on that play. Here's McDonald. Takes strike one. Good frame job by Antillian. McDonald is the 11th hitter to bat in the inning. Pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Antillian. There's the 1-1. Ground ball, Jackson backhands it. And everybody is safe again. The throw draws Gurney off the bag. He can't make the tag. Campbell scores. It's 12-6. The Cardinals have doubled up Utah in the 11th inning alone. Seven runs in the inning. It's 13-6. Stanford now has 21 hits. Back-to-back throwing errors against Core Jackson. Everything going wrong right now for the Utes. Malcolm Moore, left-handed hitting catcher at the plate. The 7th plate appearance of the day from Malcolm Moore. Takes strike one. Nielsen checks the runner. Another pitch in the dirt. 2-1. There's the 2-1. Hit hard, deep to center field. Going back on it is Roberts. He's got room. Makes the catch, retires the side. Stanford scores 7. They lead 13-6.
Stanford leads 13-6.
Well, Utah found out how the other half lives in the top of the 11th inning. 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base for the Stanford Cardinal. They take a 13-6 lead here into the bottom of the 11th inning. Kai Roberts at the plate. Facing Torrin O'Haron, fouls the first pitch back to the screen. O'Haron on the mound. He's already gone 2 1/3, blowing past his previous season high of 2 innings. And with nobody up in the Stanford bullpen and a 7-run lead, unless things go badly, I would imagine he'll be able to finish this one. Roberts behind 0-2. Roberts strikes out swinging. Stanford's 7 runs in the 11th inning equals their run-scoring output from the first 2 games of this series, a 3-2 loss and a 7-5 loss. Here's Utah third baseman Michael Davini. Davini 0 for 4 Bounces the first pitch back up the middle. Good play by Haskins. 2 down. So it doesn't look like the Utes are going to get the first and would-be only sweep over Stanford in the Pac-12 era, but still a great series. Utah is going to get the series victory, their third series win over the Cardinal. Got to go back to 2016, the last time Utah beat Stanford in a 3-game set. It'll be the second series win here at home. Clarkson behind 0-1 after that foul ball. 2013 is a 3-game series at Sunken Diamond. Stanford's home field. Utah won 2 out of 3 games. So you still hang your hat. You still go home after this one, satisfied with the overall performance across 3 games, even if today is not the result that you were looking for. Counts 1-1 on the Utah cleanup hitter. Lines it to center field. Going back on it is Ethan Hott. Hott makes the catch. That's the ball game. So Stanford weathers a Utah comeback, scoring 7 runs in the 11th inning, winning their first extra inning game of the year. Utah falls to 3-1 in extras. We'll be back here at Smith's Ballpark Monday night when the Utes host the Utah Valley Wolverines. 6 o'clock first pitch. Find the action on UtahUtes.com. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful Easter weekend.
Utes will be back at Smith's Ballpark on Monday. First leg home week series against the Utah Valley Wolverines. First pitch will be at 6 p.m. It's April Fool's Day, so the first 3 of the fans will receive a great Utah luggage cushion. And we'll have pranks and jokes throughout the game. For those sticking around for the Easter egg hunt, kids will be able to enter the field on the third base outfield entrance side, and the hunt will begin shortly afterwards. Please be respectful of the working grounds crew by staying out of the infield, limiting adults, non-participants,